Hey everyone, Mr. Clutch here. It is Saturday evening, February 8th, and so I didn't make a video on Thursday or Friday. Many of you may have seen my post. I just had a terrible 2 days and mostly my own fault. I kind of went on tilt. I was revenge trading. I was missing trades that should be winners. It was just a masterclass in how not to trade, and it's something that I haven't done in quite some time. It kind of just spiraled quickly. So I'm going to review that and kind of show you the spiral and just kind of, walk through how quickly this can happen and hopefully how we can prevent it next time. So I'm going to take you back to Wednesday evening. This is at the open of the Wednesday night market for futures. So I saw a trade I actually liked overnight Wednesday night, and it wasn't a bad trade. It was actually a pretty good trade. So we opened somewhere over in here, and we climbed up, and we had a level here. So you'll see I have some overnight MHPs on here that are marked. This is going to be for Thursday night, so ignore it for Wednesday night. I've already removed those, but it was right here, right around in here. There was a level at like 21,790, somewhere in there. So I took a short when it got here. That held. It held nicely. First, this is where it all started with first kind of doing something that I wouldn't recommend. I normally wouldn't do, that you probably shouldn't do. And that was taking a trade when I'm not at the computer. So I went short. Of course, I put my stop loss, but I knew I was going to be out that evening, going to dinner, things like that. So I went to dinner and I'm watching this as I'm at dinner. It's kind of bouncing around and it ends up down here. I remember looking at this wick. I was watching this as it happened right here. It got down to like 758, and I thought, man, this is gonna be a nice trade. I'm gonna go home. This thing's just gonna fall out of the sky, and I'm gonna, close this trade out, and it's gonna be a big overnight, big trade before I even go into tomorrow. Well, it bounced back, right? And so I was watching it. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, I was watching it through here. At this point, once I got home, it was right up in here somewhere. So I'm like, I'm not going to close it out now. I'll just see what happens. So it falls back down. I'm like, okay, here we go again. It comes back up, hits my stop. So now I'm kind of just frustrated that trade went for such a good trade because we were 30 some points here. That was a decent little trade I could have closed out had I been managing it, had I been watching it. So this trade entry was fine, but the management of it, the decisions I made on the trade, just overall were poor. So I remember seeing this thing stop me out, and so we'll flip over to ES. Now I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go long ES. It's breaking out. We had a level up here. And I was just, yeah, let's do it. I want in another trade because I'm mad about this, right? Stupid. This is like midnight on, Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. I had no business even taking a trade here, but I'm like, let me go long. I'm staying up a little late too, watching this trade. It comes down to here against me. Not quite stops me out. It moves 4 or 5 points. And then it comes back, okay, good deal. I'm thinking, here we are. This is maybe we'll break through this time. Nope, rejected. Actually, this would have been a better short right here after you saw it struggle there, comes down, comes back to it, can't get through again. It's actually a good spot to take a short right there, but nope, I held on, got stopped out. Okay, so I'm waking up, what is that, Thursday morning, ready to trade. I had two bad trades overnight, two losses. Just I don't typically trade full size overnight unless it's a real like a setup I really like. So my losses were minimal. So we come into, let's see here, the morning, Thursday morning, price action was pretty rough. I didn't see any trades all day that I took or that I was interested in taking. But so I shut it down, of course, right here. I shut down my trading. I had to go get a haircut. I shut it down somewhere right in here. I mean, literally minutes before this happened. I get in the car, I'm getting to the haircut, and wouldn't you know, this thing dropped all the way down. The level was so far away that day, I thought there's no way it's getting to it, right? We had like an hour and a half of market left. I'm like, So I was completely confident, just walking away knowing there's no trades today, and it sucked because I wanted a trade because my stupid losses overnight. I'm wanting to make those up, but I still was in a good mindset Wednesday. Through the whole day, I held off. I didn't chase anything. Things hadn't went off the rails yet, so this came down. The entry, I can tell you exactly where the entry would have been on each of these. So on ES, it was like 60, 73, 75. This is where like an HP was. I don't have it marked here because again, this was the day before last now, but it was like right in here somewhere. So had I been watching the chart, I would have bought right here, 10-point stop. It would have got maybe 3 points of drawdown, and then would have got this massive rip up into close. So that would have been a 3R trade. Same thing on NQ. So NQ, the level, this was the bottom of a bull zone here at 21, 7, 17, 25 is where I had it marked. Literally right here at the close of these candles. I mean, it doesn't get more perfect than that. And that's what these, when I talk about the Rocket Scooter tools, it's crazy how these levels are so important. After this giant, massive sell-off, that's exactly where it bounces on both of them. And so I would have taken this too, and I would have. I mean, this is 6 R's right here I missed out on because I would have likely, even if I had played it tight here, I could have got an R or two. I might have got shaken out here, but I'd like to think that I'd have let it come back a little bit and just to see what was going to happen here. So, yeah, it was a bummer. So I was just mad then. I'm just like, God, I missed all these trades now. I've missed, or I traded stupid. Now I missed 2 big ones. It's just frustrating. You know how that is when you miss a good trade. It's frustrating. So this is where the mindset starts to shift, and I kind of just start throwing caution to the wind. As soon as market opened, I was ready to trade Thursday when futures market opened, right? And so our line was, this is the overnight MHP line. So we're coming up to it, and I saw over here how I'd kind of rejected off that earlier. It kind of came through a little during the day here, but kind of sold off through it. So I'm making up anything in my mind to go, oh, this is going to be a good short if it gets there. So this thing just screams up there. I take the short thinking, okay, it's going to reject. And off it goes. And one of the rules we have with MHP is it's actually almost a better trade when it breaks because it can break with some speed. And when you kind of get a break and a stop here and go, that's a good trade to take. So you don't want to just blindly take the reversal always, especially in overnight. Like during the day, we're looking, and plus, look, 9 times out of 10, I'm always looking to take the long, right? So by me taking a short, I was going against what I want to do anyways. Typically, like I want to be above MHP and take the short off of it, like we did, or I'm sorry, the long off of it, like we were doing back here and stuff. So I'm really kind of just like thinking just hoping this will reject here. I really didn't have a reason to take it. And it even showed strength through here, so there's no reason for me to short. I could have probably, like I said, jumped in the long. So this thing goes up, never even comes back to my entry. It's just bouncing around. Finally stops me out, okay? So I'm watching over here now. I'm stopped out, and now I'm coming over here to NQ because we had a level, and we were in the Discord chatting that night. Barkey, who's a super sharp trader, is in the Rocket Scooter Discord. He was talking about it, a few others. And we were kind of talking about they would start rejecting up here. And so it was about 21, I think it was 887 somewhere when I got in. So it was actually in one of these, I think, over here. Yeah, it was one of these last taps over here, I think, in that range there that I decided to go short there. And what a good trade, right? That thing just went. But this is getting pretty late. I'm watching it through the evening hours. I fall asleep. I go to bed, fall asleep. And it falls all the way to the overnight MHP. Look at that. That right there is a perfect time to get out of this trade. As we're getting close to this, I'm like, let's get out of here. That was 889 to, that's 60, 70 points. So good. I'd be happy with that on an overnight trade. But by the time I wake up, it's already bounced pretty hard. It's over here somewhere. I'm thinking, oh, great. Like I missed taking profit. What do I got to lose now? I want more than just half an hour or whatever it would have been. So I hold on, It comes up here. The rest of the night I hold on, and I woke up a few more times. I saw it selling back off. Oh, good, we might get down here. No, it's bouncing around. I go back to sleep. Whole time it's just bouncing around. So we come into 7:30 or 8:30 East Coast, where news is going to drop. I set my stop. At this point, I'm like, we're down in here, right, coming into it. I set my stop up here somewhere. Like, okay, let's just get a little bit. Let's get a little bit if this news goes against us. If not, I'm thinking the flip side is it could just die off the news, and I can get even more down here, right? Well, wouldn't you know, what happens is this thing goes immediately, just rockets up. It misses my stop even. Like, it went so fast, it wouldn't even stop me. Like, it didn't fill my stop. So it got pushed past. I'm trying to hit the button to close it out. I finally get it closed, of course, up here somewhere, and then it drops, of course. And it's all in 1 minute, right? So this is happening in seconds. So now a trade that I took overnight that was a good trade is now a losing trade, and I've lost this trade. So I'm just, the frustration is just continue to mount. I mean, this is what I was kind of mentioning the other day. If it's like, maybe that's not my fault. It's my fault because everything's your fault that happens in them. I mean, you have decisions to make, and I chose to leave my trade open into that candle. That was stupid. I chose to maybe not take profit over here. That was stupid. It was just not a smart trade overall when I'm asleep at night, and then the way I managed it in the morning. So I deserved every bit of it. So now we're getting into the open hours. Market opens, it rallies up. We have a level right here. This is actually the hedge pressure line, HP, because I think the market opened right above it. Yeah, and so it comes back to it. Well, I had a phone call I had to be on at this time. So what do? I do another thing I don't ever really recommend doing, especially during a news event, and that is setting a limit buy order. I put a limit buy on hedge pressure line and jumped on the call. Well, again, you should never do this during news. Literally, I let this thing just drop and stop me, stop me in the same few seconds. So it's like it just keeps piling on. It keeps piling on. The decisions I'm making are leading to this, and I'm just getting super unlucky with it, and it's just one thing after another. So again, I'm here. I got this ready in case, I didn't think the news was going to be this violent. So I was thinking maybe it would come down and hit me and go, or, whatever. Straight through, fill me, close me, stops me 40 points lower. So there goes another losing trade. So I'm frustrated. I'm trying to, at this point, I'm just like so mad that this has happened. Well, let me show you. Let me put on our DD bands. So our DD bands are a range that we, Rocket Scooter, are looking to trade in the day. If it gets outside those, things get pretty irrational. But it's always a long off of these DD bands. And look at this drop here. Or this is, so this was earlier. So as we're going through here, and then we get a Trump. We get a Trump tweet here, and this thing just dies. And I'm not paying enough attention, but look where that ticks to. Literally to the tick. The low of this candle is 60, 52, 50, and I believe that is 75 or 50. Ticked right to the DD band. That should be a trade that I'm watching and ready to take. I was not. I didn't even notice that happened. So what happens? It rips up and takes off. So I see that it flushed through this DD band, and again, this went so fast. Like, I would not have taken this one because as fast as this went, it was like it was gone. This one, it would have probably it would have came down. This one, as I see this candle a little slower. Now I would have had to grab the bottom. I probably would have as I start seeing it wick a little, I would maybe grab that, because over here there's no wick. It's just dying. So I thought, well, let me take the reclaim of this. That was the overreaction to the news. So I'm just trying to trade at this point. I'm mad that I just missed this. I'm, it's just all around. I'm just tilting. I'm revenge trading. I jump in here on the break of this, thinking, here we go, and I get a little push up. Boom, dies off, stops me out. I've pretty much lost care at this point. And granted, I've kept my position size smaller. I've stuck true to stop losses. So I'm not. This isn't crazy. I'm not like losing crazy amounts of money. It's like half an R, here and there. So, but it's adding up and it's making me mad. So I decided to try again when ES came back down to the band since I missed the first one. So I got in over here somewhere on one of these, and I actually rode it all the way up to here. Once it got up in here, and it came back and then bounced here, I put my stop below this. So it stopped me out somewhere in here. So it was about a 20-point trade. It was a good trade. It recovered some of my losses for the last couple of days, and that's where I ended basically Friday. Is just getting a little recoup there. But you see how fast it just changes like that. It just goes. I mean, you can't even think about it happening until it just happens, and you're in it and it's happening. So just something to really think about. And it all started from missing a trade, really missing the big trades. And it also shows you how little room for error you have, because there's several trades in here I should have never traded. I should have been managing. If I was going to take that first trade overnight, I could have got some out of that. If I was at the computer the day before, I would have got those two big trades. This was an actual decent trade. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually missed this. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken this DD band. This was the second time. This DD band over here on NQ happened before. It's up here on ES. So this was a trade here as well that went 100 and nearly 120 points or 110 points. So that's what I was. Yeah. So there was another one. So this is 2 R's. This one, where did I say that ES one? Yeah, this was 2 R's probably. That was 3 R's there. And then each trade the day before is 3 R's. So we're talking 11 R's instead of the 2 or 3 R's I lost over this span, just because of poor trading. That's a huge swing. That's 14 R's just over stupid stuff. Little decisions I made here and there that led to that. So just be aware that when you're trading, that stuff just, it can happen so quick and sneak up on you like that. So I don't plan to let that happen again next week. I'm really going to tighten up. I'm actually going to be traveling some. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to trade, but I'm going to do my best to only take the absolute best setups that we can find. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video and seeing how fast this stuff happens and how how easy it is to find yourself in one of these situations. The last thing I'll kind of say is I think part of what happened here too, and maybe not. Actually, I think it is in retrospect, and I've had time to think. I started taking more of these overnight trades because I've been up so much. I'm thinking, why not take a stab on something overnight? Maybe I'll hit a home run. If I lose an R, oh well. I've been green for 23 or 24 days, and closing in on payouts and things like that. So it made me start getting a little lazy because of that. So it's in this big win streak, I'm kind of feeling invincible, oh, I'm gonna why don't I play around with this? And that's just not acceptable. There's too much room for error, and you see what it leads to. It's a slippery slope. So we'll clean it up. Hope everyone has a good rest of the weekend. Hope you have a good start to the week trading on Monday, and a great trading week next week. And probably won't be able to make too many videos early in the week, but I'll do some recaps later in the week if I can. So thanks for taking the time to watch. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video, comment, leave me comments. If you'd like to see anything else in these reviews, I'd be happy to go over them. Follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active, at Mr. Clutch Trade. So with all that said, again, thanks for taking the time to watch it. We'll see you next time.